Mushi-shi is a somewhat difficult show to introduce to people who have never seen it, mostly because it always maintains an air of mystery, and it never really solves the mystery. The quickest and easiest way for me to describe what Mushi-shi is like is to say that it's almost like the anime version of the Twilight Zone, but with a focus on human spirituality rather than simply asking what if. And like the Twilight Zone, Mushi-shi is completely episodic, meaning you can watch the episodes in any order you like. One of the tenets that make Mushi-shi so unique is the fact that diligent viewers are given enough solid information, but never too much, to make a well-informed guess as to the show's biggest enigma, the Mushi themselves. We're given a short and very non-specific explanation of what the Mushi are at the beginning of each episode, but it's so non-specific that the intro's purpose is less to actually inform the viewer and more to frame the show and its trademark ethereal and otherworldly tone and pacing. That repeated intro in and of itself actually does pretty well to represent the storytelling style of Mushi-shi as a whole. It's meant to be thought-provoking and mysterious, with the hope that the viewer will reflect upon what the Mushi really are, what they really do, and why they do what they do. But it also means that the show raises far more questions than it answers. And more often than not, those questions will be deeply prodding to the very core of what it means to be human. And I know that's probably the most pretentious sounding thing that you've heard all day, but this really is a show about appreciating the beauty and complexity of the human experience rather than just telling simple stories. But to get any of that, you have to be really open-minded to the more subtle meanings that the show has to offer. Otherwise, you might end up thinking that the main character, Ginko, is some kind of ghostbuster. And while that's not completely incorrect, it does misrepresent the show in a way that makes it distinctly less thought-provoking, which is a terrible loss to the viewer. Now, to be clear, this is not a show for everyone. If you're looking for action, romance, comedy, or supernatural elements, well, Mushi-shi actually does all of those things and does them pretty well, but those are not the show's selling points. Instead, be prepared for a show that is very calm, well-animated, thought-provoking, and even a bit disturbing. But only disturbing in the sense that it can sometimes be disturbing to look through Mushi-shi's foggy lens into the realm of human behavior, psychology, philosophy, and suffering. But don't let me put a dampener on your curiosity for the show, since it's absolutely worth your time if you enjoyed things like The Twilight Zone and the anime Kino's Journey, which is definitely Mushi-shi's closest relative.